Hey, friends. Welcome to Miss V the Storyteller Podcast. I am your host, Miss V the Storyteller, and I'm so excited about today's story. Today's story will end season 5 of Miss V the Storyteller Podcast. I have enjoyed sharing stories with you, and I look forward to season 6. But today's story means a lot to me because school is about to start and our kids are going back to school. And I wanted to share the story because I felt like it was the perfect time. The kids are going back. School is going to be hard for them. Some of them are going to struggle. Some of them are going to soar. But for those that struggle, this story may help you to understand them a little bit better and to give them a little bit of more grace. The name of the story is Living a Struggle I Couldn't Name. If you've been following me for any time, you know that I had a hard childhood. Fluffy, shy. I just had a hard time. And school was not my friend. When I started school, let me tell you all, I hated English, reading, and spelling. They were like thorns in my flesh. I hated it. I hated going to English every day. And at one point, they put me in speech and reading tutoring. I understood speech. I did. A sister has a gap, and some words just don't come out right. However, the reading I didn't understand. Now, in reading, I hated reading out loud. Let me tell y'all, if the teacher called on me, I will almost pass out. No matter how hard I studied, I still didn't do well on spelling test. I would study hard. It just didn't work. But when they put me in reading and speech, in my reading class, my teacher always said how well I was doing. Every time she held up a flashcard, I told her what the word was. Every time she asked me to spell a word, I would spell the word verbally. So I just didn't understand. But all of elementary school, speech, reading. I go to middle school. I'm thinking I am finished with that foolishness. I'm done. Get into middle school, and lo and behold, that daggone reading was literally writing right there in front of my face, waiting for me. They put me in reading classes. I didn't have to go to speech, thank God. So I went to reading. It got so bad. I begged my mom, please get me out of this. I don't need to be in reading. I can read. I had a real mama. Mama said, if the school says that you need reading, and you're going. So I went. I go to twice a week. I'm sitting in there with this woman and she's telling me how great I'm doing, and she don't really understand why I'm in her, why I'm having reading tutoring going on. She don't understand. I don't understand either. But I went. Y'all, when I went to high school, let me tell you, victory was mine. No speech, no reading. I will tell you this, I did struggle and I passed, and I don't mean barely pass, but I did pass. I probably could have done better, but I had some issues and I didn't know what those issues, the names of those issues were. So when I decided to go to college, I decided that I wanted to be a teacher. You would think when a sister finished with elementary, middle school, and high school, the last thing that she would want to think about was being a teacher. But that's what I wanted to do. I love working with kids. I love when I teach them, when I taught them something new, the way their eyes lit up or how excited they would get when they're learning new material. And that's what I wanted to do. So, went to school, early education. My first early childhood special education class. I was so excited. I was like, because when you first go to college, you have to take all those general courses, all that mess. And then you get to the meat, like the thing that you wanted to go to school for. You started to take those classes. Well, I am sitting in class. I'm so excited because you get to learn about all the disabilities that kids have and some of the struggles and all that. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh, great. This is perfect because I'll be able to help kids that probably struggled like me. I'm sitting there and my professor is talking about a specific disability. I had every one of the symptoms, almost every single one of those symptoms. When he finished, he said, this is called dyslexia. A sister had dyslexia. She has dyslexia. That is why I struggle so hard in school. Let me tell y'all, letters, they run all over the page for me. It takes my brain a minute to focus and to put everything back to where it's supposed to be. That's why I hated reading out loud. Now, if I knew in advance, I could go and memorize the passage and the words in its complete order. It would have took me a minute, but I would have gotten it. Spelling, it's the same way. If I could spell it out loud, because I'm so visual, I could spell the words to you. But when it came to put it on paper, letters ran all over I mean, they just run. I'm like, could you get back over there, please? Oftentimes I would have all the letters in the word, but maybe one of the letters was out of place, but all the letters was there. Give a sister a break, but they didn't. But it's okay because now I'm in college, I'm sitting in class, and I'm finding out what the problem was. So my professor, I asked if I could meet with him one day after class. And I went and sat with him and I explained the struggles that I was having, and he gave me tools to use. Now, I had my own tools because I could remember anything. I could memorize anything, and I was very visual. So if you ask me a word, I could close my eyes, see it, and spell it to you. But oftentimes, when it comes to writing it down, that's when they get in the wrong place. So he gave me tools to use, and I started to use those tools, and things got better for me. Fast forward to me having a podcast. And I'm having a podcast. I'm telling stories. I'm doing all of this. I did graduate to go and teach school. So I'm teaching students. All these things is amazing. And then the podcast come and I start having guests on the show. And I had this particular guest on the show. And she was living in Japan and she was teaching. So I always have meet and greets whenever I have a potential guest on the show so we can get to know each other. And that's what we did. We talked about, our backgrounds and the things that we went through. We just had a great chat. And then she said to me, she said, yeah, because in school it was hard for me because I had dyslexia. I said, what? She said, yeah, but mine is with numbers. What? Numbers? I thought that dyslexia was only with letters and words. No idea it was numbers. And when she said this, she said, numbers run all over the page when I'm looking at it. I said, oh my God, letters do the same thing for me. And we just talked and we kept talking and we were sharing tools that we learned along the way. I shared with her, she shared with me, to the point we forgot that we were supposed to be having a meet and greet for the actual episode that we were going to have. When I finished talking to her, she just doesn't know how good she made me feel because I actually met someone who struggled in school like I did. Yes, hers was numbers and mine was letters, but it just made me feel so good. And it also made me feel good the fact that I had a name for it. I couldn't name what was wrong with me. It was like a light bulb moment. It's like now you know what you have and you can do something about it. And I did. I hope you enjoyed that story. And again, I wanted to share the story with you because school is coming in and our kids are going back to school, some going to college. And if you see your child struggling in an area, ask for help. Talk to the counselors, watch your child, even something as small. I remember when I taught school, I had a particular student. Every time I asked him to read something on the board, he would squint his little eyes. He would squint. And then once he got his eyes squinted enough, then he would tell me whatever was on the board. But the baby needed glasses. I had another student who found out she was dyslexic. Words was running all over the page for her. So once I saw it, I got her the help that she needs. So please, if you have a disability and your child is struggling, remember what you felt like and what you did, what you had to deal with. Sometimes kids they're not verbal. They don't know what to say. So I hope you enjoyed this story. I hope it will encourage your heart. I hope that if you have a child and they're struggling, that you will remember this story. All right, friends, I am so happy and excited that you decided to share season 5 with me, that you went and listened to the stories and that you enjoyed them. And if you didn't, please go back and listen to those episodes that you missed. Share it and tell people about the podcast. Once something is on the internet, it's there forever. So Miss V the Storyteller Podcast is going to be on YouTube forever, Spotify, Apple, iHeartRadio. It's going to be there. So have an amazing school year. Have an amazing day. And thank you again. Don't forget to share, like, subscribe. And I love you guys. And thank you. And see you in season 6. All right, friends. Bye.